Hey guys, so this video is going to be showing you the difference between the traditional wing type toggle bolts and the newer type toggler bolts. Quarter-inch bolts will be used on both of these. I want to show you how to use them and also how they work. So this would be traditionally used to anchor something, to mounting something on a drywall or a concrete wall or a plywood wall. And we'll be using plywood as an example today. We'll be anchoring an L-shaped bracket to a piece of plywood just to demonstrate how these work. Okay, so this is going to be the L bracket we're going to mount to this, just using two random holes in this, because it's just a temporary setup just to demonstrate this. This could be a bracket to mount a flat screen TV or a bookshelf or just anything. This old type will require a slightly bigger hole. This will mount in a 1/2 inch hole. This is going to have at least a 5/8 hole, if not a 3/4. We'll try a 5/8 first just to see. The first thing we're going to do is just mark 2 of these holes. Like I said, we're not leveling anything in this case. We're just doing a quick demonstration. We're just going to select this hole here. Now on the top, we'll use the new style toggler bolt, demonstrate how it works. And on the bottom, we'll use the traditional wing type toggle bolt. These are a lot cheaper than these. That's all I'm going to say on that. We're not going to be doing any strength testing. We're just going to be doing a demonstration of why this one is probably a better choice in the long run, for one simple reason. And we'll look at that in a minute. So get the 1/2 inch hole drilled for the new type. As you can see here, you can make it swivel like this. We're just pulling these pieces. So you want to get it all the way like this. Insert it like this. Pull it till these two are even. And you pull this tight, it's pulling up against it, like that. Now let's look at this from the back so you can understand what's going on more. Okay, so again, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but you're going to see what it looks like from inside the wall. So it comes in like this. So now I'm going to pull the two things so they're even, and you pull it tight up against the wall, just like that. And this is what anchors it to it. So you see you got a pretty good surface area. And it's up to you to determine, vertical or horizontal or at an angle. It just depends on, what kind of a load you're putting on it. If it's going to be, a twisting load or a load like this, a lot of times the vertical position is going to be your best bet. So now let's go ahead and actually put this in. Okay, so you pull it until it's like this. Push it all the way in until it pops in. Even, make these two even. Pull this up like this. We have it in the vertical position, and this thing acts like a zip tie almost. You pull it tight just like that. Now you cut off the excess. You want to cut these off just as close as you possibly can. It will flatten out some anyway. Okay, so that's the top anchor installed. Now, this will stay in the wall forever now. So when you put this in, this is the advantage with this type. Once you put something in here, and you tighten it up, you can actually remove it later, and this piece will stay in the wall. So you can come back and put it back in again. So with the older style like this, once you take that loose, once that's expanded, this is just going to fall down in the wall, as you'll see here in just a minute. So now, you kind of have to do everything together with these. So now we'll go ahead and drill this 1/2 inch and see if it's big enough. I know it's not, but we're just going to go ahead and see. I know it's not going to be big enough. See, the problem with these, you got to have it through whatever you're putting on there first. So see, already an advantage with the new type, you can use a smaller hole. You don't have to. So I'm gonna go to 5/8 and see if that'll work. You could force it to work, but I'd rather just go ahead and open it up just to make sure it's gonna go right in with no problem. But you can get by with 5/8, especially in drywall. So now it's all the way to 3/4. We pretty much guarantee that it's just gonna go right in. Okay, so now let's get ready to put this in. So now you gotta remember where your holes are. Put it through the bracket. But first, before we actually anchor the bracket, let me just go ahead and demonstrate how these work. So you're gonna push it in all the way like this until it locks in like that. Then you'll tighten it down. Mind you, you'll already have the bracket on it. So now let's look at it from reverse so you can see exactly how this is working. Okay, you're now looking at the inside of the wall. So we're going to do the same thing. Press this bolt through. It springs through like that. And when you tighten it up, it'll grab a hold just like that. This is still a very strong anchor, as you can tell. It's pretty stout. And it's going to hold just as good as the other one. But the disadvantage, if you ever go to loosen this bolt, mind you, you're looking at the inside of the wall, so you loosen this bolt, it just fell down inside your wall. So in order to put another one in, you'll have to go buy another one if you don't have it, and do the same thing again. Whereas with the other type, the anchor stays in the wall. So that's really the major advantage of it. So let's go ahead and get this started. And you can kind of see how thick the wall you can go up to, in the same way with the other one. Both of them are going to be a pretty good grain on that. So on this, you'll have to sandwich everything together like this. Whereas the other one, you're ready just to put the bracket on because your anchor's already installed. So now we can run these in. So the top one's obviously going to be easier because the anchor's stationary. We'll go ahead and run it in here. It's got a 5 foot-pound maximum torque rating. Okay, so now this one, you kind of gotta, if you spin it like this, your back's gonna be just spinning and it's not gonna be doing anything. So you see it's just gonna spin unless you put a little bit of tension onto it when you're tightening it. It's just gonna sit there and spin and just aggravate you. Spin it real fast, it'll eventually tighten it up enough. And again, it probably has a similar torque spec. Not 100% sure. You get it pretty tight. It will be easier to strip this type out because the newer type does have a little bit better thread on it, a little thicker thread. So now let's look at the back side and see what they both did. You see this one did move on me a little bit. It's not that big a deal. This one seems like it digs in just a little bit more because it's made out of a thinner metal. This one sits more on the surface. Overall, if you're not concerned about spending a couple extra dollars, go with the Toggler type. They're just a lot easier to work with, and it's a better product. And because again, like I said, if you take this loose, this anchor is going to stay in the wall. It's not going to come loose. So that's the one major advantage I see. So the bolt came completely out. the anchor stays in there. It is a little loose, you can see, but it does stay in place to allow you to reinstall the bolt. And tighten it up again with no problems at all. So the old type, when you start loosening it, even if you're lucky and it stays like this, if you hit it the wrong way or something, or if it starts doing that, and you just lost it inside your wall and you got to start all over with it. Overall, these are easier to use, but these are a lot cheaper. Now I got that whole assortment of these for like $5, whereas I got 10 of these for like $12. So, you know, it's a trade-off. Again, it depends on what you're doing too. So, well guys, if you got any questions or comments about how to use toggle bolts or how toggle bolts work, feel free to leave a comment below. Or if you got a suggestion for another type of anchor that you recommend, because there are other types as well, feel free to suggest something, and maybe we'll do another video later on comparing something else. I just want to do a video comparing these and showing you how to use them and how they work. So if you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.